Morning guys, so welcome back to NZ Marko at Kustoms. So this morning at the moment, I'm just having an organise and resort and trying to sort out a lot of the bits and pieces that I've got floating around. Gather all the bits up for individual things, put them in one spot. Anything that I'm going to be painting, I'm going to throw over on that little makeshift table trolley thing over there that we've got made over there, and any of the other spare stuff that I'm probably not going to be using, I'm going to organise and put into something, cardboard box or whatever, and organise and put over here in the meantime, just out of the bloody road, so I'm not sifting through multiple shit all the time. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at this morning. I'm going to try and just concentrate most of this morning on that, which I've already started doing. Like I don't know what the time is now. Be about 10 o'clock, I guess. So yeah, I'm just going to spend the rest of the morning just sorting a lot of that crap out and trying to get a lot of shit out of my road that I don't really need, or if it's bits and pieces that to be painted or sorted, you know, or the whatever. Yeah, I'll put it over there, so I know that's where everything is when I go to paint these last little few pieces in the next whatever few days, couple of weeks, whatever, once I get everything finalised and sorted and I've gone through everything that I know that needs to be sorted and painted, especially with 2-pack, like the diff and the tank and a few other odds and ends, if you know what I mean, that I want to paint the 2-pack. That's going to take a bit more of abuse. So yeah, I'll carry on doing that, and we'll come back to you a wee bit later on when we're probably heading back into doing repair stuff again on small bits and pieces. But basically, I've finished here with those light stuff. I'm just waiting for those little clips to turn up so I can modify. Here we go, modifying 1 or 2 to hold that little glass lens in that little piece yesterday, because it's basically ready to go. They just need primer and a coat of black, and then reassembled and put on the car. Well, yeah, some new wiring and whatever, but yeah, it's kind of where we're at there. Right, we'll catch you later on. Cheers. Righty guys, so while I was cleaning up, I still haven't really finished yet, but I come across the, this is the vacuum fuel system. I found that bracketry which had these bent brackets on it, so I took them off and I thought about straightening them. Then I come across these, which obviously the brackets for that. It did have a little tiny freaking nameplate thing on there, but it's very corroded and poor, like the end of it's missing. But I pulled the little, like under the little clip rivet things, and took this off. There is still some writing on there, but it's very hard to read. So not quite sure what we'll do with that yet. Yeah. Anyway, I'll set that aside over there. So I did a lot of work to this early on. I'm just trying to think what all I actually did. I know I did some repairs to some of the inner stuff on it and whatever, but I don't think I ever tested to see whether the floats at the time, and a few other bits and pieces like that. So I want to try and test that, make sure the float still floats, if you know what I mean. Because there's no point if it sinks. Well, we've obviously still got to do some repairs on it. So this is only sort of just partly put together, if you know what I mean. Loosely put together, I should say, because obviously it needs painted and whatever. So this is obviously something else that I want to do a final tackle on, if you know what I mean. So I'll just turn this cloth up the other way, clean the crap off it. So righty, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is pour some, the only thing I've really got around here that's a bit like fuel, and I don't think it'll matter too much in here. Taps them both off. One's drain, one's to the carburetor. I have to look at the book to tell which one's which. I can't remember now, it doesn't matter. I'm going to fill this up full of some GP thinners, I think. We've got enough left. Well, there's just not that much in there. I'll pour this in there anyway. At least that'll tell me whether it's leaking to however full up it is. That'll give me an idea whether that's holding fuel. But you can see where that's been floating in there. So that's, I think that's fine. So we'll pour that into there. And I know the taps work because they're not leaking and I can see through them when I open them, which is kind of a clear sign. I don't know if I can hold, I think it'll just piss fuel out. At least I'm not going to see whether this leaks, because I did fill a couple of little holes in this. Kind of stuff. If I poke that down there, that should suit that. We'll put this back together. It's going to fill the bottom of that first, isn't it? Before it comes into there for the, I don't know. Right. That is big enough. Perfect. Sweet. Oh, I've got a gasket for there. What do we use that for? What are we mucking around with that motor? Don't know. That's perfect for me. So I need to make a little coarse gasket for that. See if I can work out a way to test that at some point. I took this back in here through a filter. $1 million. Not completely wasting it. Which it doesn't even work. Never get any noise out of it. Negative and positive, maybe. I don't expect this thing to go, but you never know. Noise or not. Well, fuck me. I didn't expect it to work. Hey, but you never fucking know, do you? Oh, it works. Wouldn't say well, but it works. Oh, we'll pull it apart and have a look. Right. It's like one of those things that just like, is it going to go or is it not? We can repair that to make it longer. Hopefully. Oh, should be here. It's just got a little bolt in there. Should be easy enough to sort. Should clean that up and fix that. Clean that up and penalty that. So that just spins on there. Makes that a frickin' racket. Alright. Splits anyway. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, see. Entertaining. Those front screws, that would be what that's from. So that's easy enough. Yeah. This paint's not in bad order on there, all things considered. Should be able to give that a wee clean up too, I would think. This here, I'll show you actually get that off. I might just get it off there and just give it a gentle clean. Put it back on. And we're finished. So like sandblast that, paint all that. Just at least give us a good clean up and degrees and see if maybe we can just clean up this. At least clean the contact a little bit, you know. Righty, so I'm about to bugger off. I'll just show you where I'm up to with this old Outlaw horn. So I've got most of it cleaned up. So this is all cleaned up and I've etched it. I've given the motor a quick clean up, I guess you would call it. I sort of polished up the armature a little bit, with a wee bit of 400, just while it was in there I just spun it and held a little bit of 400 on there and just sort of polished it up as it was spinning, like that, just to try and just clean it up a wee bit so it's a wee bit better contact. That seems to work fine. I run around there with the wire wheel. I've still got to clean that off and I'll just use a die grinder with a wire wheel on there and just clean that up, rest that crap off there. So they're etched. I've left the original paint on the inside of that because it's not in bad nick and it's just, I think it's quite cool just to leave a little bit of originality in there, like it's in good condition, so why disturb it. Now this bit of galv pipe, I think, and I'll give it a clean up, but I think this will work to help me straighten that out the best I can. Tomorrow we'll straighten out the best we can. I'll see if one of those old funny frickin' bead rollers might repair this here if I can't get it to clean up terribly well, but I also will have to try and straighten this out and whatever because it's all wonky, but we'll see how we get on. Once we sort of start getting it around again, get the worst out of it, we'll see. You know, it mightn't take much to roll that back and we might be able to just slowly hammer this back in. We'll just see how we get on. So yeah, I haven't cleaned up any of the bracketry or anything like that yet, or any of those other bits and pieces. I haven't cleaned up any of the nuts and bolts and screws. Well, obviously we'll have to find some nuts and bolts and screws in amongst that stuff. Hopefully there might be something there to complete it. Otherwise we'll just have to buy some new stuff. But yeah, that seems to work fine. Seems to spin around fine once I give it a bit of a clean up there and polish the armature up a little bit. It seemed to really whiz back into life. You know, and we got rid of the grime and gave it a good rinse out with some brake clean, just re-lubricated it. Seems to be work good. You know, just a matter of testing it, bit of a test of time to see whether it keeps going nicely. But it looks pretty uncomplicated. You know, it should be easily repairable if it does happen to stop. So yeah, it's kind of where I'm at. So yeah, I wired wheeled a lot of this, and obviously wire wheel and die grinder to clean up in there the best I can. Once we get it straightened out a bit more, I actually really need to sieve the crap that's in there, get rid of some of the shit out of it. But once I get this panel beaded out, we'll give it another blow over, because I actually wire wheeled that and then went back over it with the blasting camera just to, you know, give it that nice sort of bitey texture to get a good bite with the etch. So I'll do the same with this when I'm finished cleaning it up and hammering it out. Hopefully we'll get that done tomorrow. That'll give me I don't think it'll take too long, but it won't take too long to rough it out, but it's the final work and to actually make it look really, really good, the best I can. When we sort of get down to the nitty gritty and trying to get it smoothed out and look decent, without putting any body filler on it. But it shouldn't be too bad. By the time I've done tomorrow, you know, it should be fine. I should be able to get that all panel beaded and etched up anyway, I would think. So, yeah, we'll just go from there. It's pretty much where we're at. So, again, at the end of this week, yeah, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment. Give us a thumbs up, all those sorts of things. Gain a few subs with that video. We're talking about that, you know, car accident with those guys doing that filming for that car. I'll gain a few subs of that. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. I was hoping that's kind of what it was going to do. Like, you know, like I was just putting my 5 cents in there and just trying to see whether I'd get somewhere with that, and I did. I appreciate any of these guys that have jumped on board. Hope you enjoy the current content I'm doing. Like, this has been a major rebuild for any of these new people. Like, there's 100 or 200 and odd videos on this thing. Like, I basically started right back from scratch, and people started earlier on. Like back in the early 2000s, they sort of half started on this. Got it half, well, I wouldn't say half reasonable, but just they sort of got the body back together, I guess, and started making new doors. But nothing was fitted. Nothing was 100%. Of any stretch of the imagination. I've gone through and done a lot of work, redone some wood, remade a door, remade the wood for that. You know, just lots and lots of builds and rebuilds and repairing and making things right. And so yeah, it's been a long drawn out process doing it by myself. So yeah, what have we been, 15, 16 months, I guess now, thereabouts, on this build. Remade a lot of things that weren't even there, like the convertible top. I handmade the whole thing, you know, just from pictures, a few basic measurements, whatever. Remade a lot of that. You know, there's lots of bits and pieces that are actually away, being plated, that I made by hand too. A lot of the bits and pieces that hold the convertible top when it's down. But anyway, well, catch you later on, and yeah, I might manage to get tomorrow's stuff in here. We'll see how we get on. Right, cheers. Alright, morning troops. So, this morning, probably a lot of high-speed footage anyway. of me trying to straighten this out. And we'll see how much of this we can get out. it's going to be very awkward to try and hammer from the inside, so I'm going to have to try and do as much as I can from the outside. And yeah, we'll just go from there, I guess. Pound it out. Might have to use a little bit of heat, maybe. For some of the bad spots, probably have to use a little bit of heat. Obviously, you have to do a little bit of welding here to repair the split. At some point, whether that's this morning or not, you'll see how far we get. It shouldn't take a lot to get this, but it's the final finishing work. And making sure we don't make it, you know, split it or break it or crack it or whatever, any worse than what it already is. This might have happened, I don't know, but I'm guessing maybe when it had the accident, because it's on that left-hand side, down low. It's I'll see what it shows without chopping. From the photos and stuff I've got from other cars, and I'm pretty sure that's where it sits. But anyway, I'll put it on here, and we'll get hammering.
Out to the show, kick it into high gear, now we let go. And if you're feeling weary, I feel like you gotta scream, then let's go for a ride in a shiny machine. There's no time to be humble, smiling at the sound of an echoing rumble. Hit the open road, push the pedal to the ground. Heavy metal thunder, smoke and lightning, it's time to pump up the sound. If you're in a worry, we know what you need. Let's go for a ride. Yeah, in a shiny machine. Let's go!
Righty, I don't know what this is going to do because this is more of a hard edge, but I'm just trying to see whether I can, I don't know, I haven't really got the right die. I might just see if I can just try and clean this up a little bit. Maybe. I don't really need it for a lot, but I might just get a sharpen an edge or something. If that had a small shoulder, that could pop up on the ramp like that, you know what I mean? I would just put just a gentle bit of pressure on there, and just, like I wouldn't push it way up, but I just would put a little bit on there. I could probably clean that up a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to get any more out of it. So what I might do now is weld that up, and go from there, I guess. I think there's a split. There's a little bit of a split in here too. I might have to just see if I can weld that up as well. I don't think I'm going to get it a lot better. I can work on it a little bit. Knock a few more of these little bits out. It's pretty good compared with where it was. What a bummer. I know it's too big, but it might be just enough to put a pressure on there to just improve that. Oh, it was worth a try. It's not perfect, but it's about as good as I'm going to get it. It's a tricky thing to fix when you don't have like a bead roll or something like that to with the right die and to be able to get in there on there to try and fix that from where it was. This is the piece that was really quite badly crunched up, so I've welded that up. I've got it reasonably round now. It's not 100%, but it's pretty good. And it's, let's show you. That's pretty level. Like it's fairly flat, like it's not all up and down, like it's possibly a little. It's possibly a little bit, you know what I mean? But, no shit, how far do we go, you know? Well, it's pretty fucking good. Now, worst comes to worst, you put the slightly ugly side down, you know. That's all you can do. When I assemble it, obviously these are going to be near, like these two pieces are going to be near the top and the engine bay, so you can put the wiring on. So that piece where the joint is, where it's had the most damage, you put that bit down, and it still looks good enough. You know, like it's pretty nice. Well, it's not perfect. No, with a little bit of body filler and whatever, you could make it really, really, really good. But you know, you just put that slightly worse side down. You know? And if somebody goes, "Oh, gee, that's a bit rough," well, you should. Well, fuck, you should have seen it before I started. So, yeah. The only other thing I might do is find something that I can just. That might do. I might clean up this piece of steel a little bit. I might clean this up and just sit it on this edge here and just do a little bit of body work and just try and tidy up, especially since it's going to be the side that's down. Just see if I can tidy up that little bit of edge so that fucking light in the right place for you. Alright. Anyway, see if I can get this edge tidied up just so it's not quite so rough on the inside. Now, I might just have to go backwards and forwards a couple of times. Let's see if we can get that cleaned up a little nicer. It's not bad, but we'll just try and tidy it up a little bit. Right guys, so I'm about to bugger off. I thought, geez, I haven't fucking done a little update since, God, far out. I haven't got the lights on. Haven't done an update since I cleaned this up and gave it a quick coat of etch. So I'll turn the camera around, I'll show you where we're at. Right, so this is where we're at. It doesn't look too bad. There's a couple of spots I might just come back where I've missed knocking a few dents out, and there was a couple of times I actually put it on the end of that skinnier bar and I knocked a few dents out, and so I might just go back and just revisit a couple of little spots, but I've got it hammered out pretty good compared to how bent up and mangled this was. I might just have to weld that back up. I didn't realise there was a hole there. After I sandblasted, it must have blown a hole in there. But yeah, we'll just knock a couple of these bits down. It looks pretty good, considering how mongreled it was beforehand. I'm pretty happy with that. You know, a couple of little touch-ups and we'll be good. The etch is just showing a couple of things up, which is good, you know, like, it's not hard to knock that down and just put another little bit of etch on it. The other thing I did, I cleaned up before, just around the edge of this a bit better, and I just flicked a little bit of etch around those areas. I'm not worried about too much, so I'll just mist a bit of black in there later on when I do start painting everything. And I've got the bracketry in the blasting cabinet. I've sort of reasonably finished, but I want to I need to clean all that grit, at least some of the shit out of it so it flows better or something. But yeah, anyway. So that's the end of the day for today anyway, Saturday, so I only normally work till lunchtime. So yeah, I'll go do all the crap that I'm going to do. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, if I can get a few things sorted out, I might drag that Nash home, back to my house. So yeah, we'll just see what happens. See how easy it is to get out of Dad's shed for a start off, and what I need to do to move it. So yeah, we'll go from there. But yeah, I need to finish getting the other shed cleaned out and get a bit of crap out of the road. But yeah, maybe in another couple of 3 weeks, we'll just see. I might wait till Rachel comes back, which might be sort of about 3 or 4 weeks away. We'll just see. But that will be home shortly, and we'll start doing videos on that. Yeah, and this bearing turns up for this clutch, and it will work. We should have that Dodge in here within hopefully a week or two, so I can get it done. Otherwise, I'm going to be working night and day for a few weeks trying to get it done, because we're all right at the moment, but really, we're not August yet. So we've got August, September, October, November. Really, yeah. So yeah, I really need to have it here in the next couple of weeks to get a decent run at it. Otherwise, I will run out of time, because it's got to be done by February for the guys. So yeah, I want to give it back to him before Christmas, for sure, just to give him time to do anything else he wants to do to it, such running and driving for him and everything. So yeah, unfortunately, it's been a bit of a nightmare with this thing. You know, as you guys know, we just fought trying to get those significant pieces here to get the project almost completed, you know what I mean? We will probably find there's a few more bits and pieces we need to sort, but a lot of it's just going to be really simple. Be simple, quick fix stuff, or maybe the odd thing we might have to make once we just sort of get into it. You know, there'll be a bit of mucking around with wiring and stuff like that, but at least if we can get, hopefully we're gonna chase the wheels, because we'll make the guy that's made the wheels is waiting on bolts to be sorted. I think they're being made by the sounds of it. I haven't had much to do with that. I was hoping to do some filming those being made, but either getting bolts made to suit them properly, and I don't know how long they're going to be, but if we can get that clutch here and the motor bolted together with the gearbox, and those wheels on, we can push the thing out of here if we have to do anything really dirty, you know, as long as the weather's coming, because the weather will start coming right in another month. By the time we get into September, it's starting to get quite, well, I mean, like it will start getting nicer again quickly. You know, we still get the shitty patches and cold patches, but yeah, the weather starts really changing around, so that'll give me, hopefully, good opportunity to get that other thing stripped down, cleaned up, primed and all that sort of stuff, and painted, you know, and back together by the end of, well, hopefully end of November, start of December, and then it can go back, because that's about all the time I've got with it, if you know what I mean. So yeah, but at least I know it's a complete running, driving, working vehicle. I've just got to make it look pretty again. So yeah, I'm not having to do major repair stuff, you know, apart from a little bit of rust and a few dents, but that's the easiest. Well, it's not the easiest stuff to fix, but I'm not trying to resurrect every fucking part of a car like this thing. Anyway, I'll catch you later on. Thanks for watching. Cheers.